The intention of the spirit guide reading that you will do for yourself is to give you the information you need to develop the knowledge of what is going on behind the scenes of your life and give you peace and answers as you move forward. We're going to be focusing on guides and ancestors as that is what is coming through. Your ancestors are cheering for you as you escape the karma of the old world dynamic, and your guide, who may or may not be an ancestor, is coming through to support you in this journey of transformation. Remember in human design how we have two selves? I wrote about this in our Fate versus Manifestation Substack entry. So we have two different selves, the unconscious body and the conscious personality. Ancestors from our body side look like our direct family genealogy. Ancestors from our conscious side look like relatives we've had in different family systems, as our spirit has been in many different lifetimes. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with this meditation. First off, I want to say trigger warning. If you were just in the LA fires and fire is kind of feeling scary to you right now, you might want to not move through this meditation just because we do use fire just to surround yourself as a protection mechanism. It's not scary normally, but due to recent events, I will put that out there. Okay, let's get started. You're going to want to find a chair, a comfortable chair, and place your feet firmly on the ground. As you get comfortable, you're going to want to call in a wall of fire to surround you in your chair to protect you. This fire is the refiner's fire. It is so that the only guides or angels or ancestors that can come to you are those of the highest good. Often when I'm doing discernment work on different beings, I can always feel the being's energy, and energy doesn't lie no matter what they look like or what they say. It's also the same for humans as well. So I can just feel their energy. But when I was starting out, I would actually move different beings through a wall of fire, the refiner's fire. And beings that are a lower vibration can't go through the fire. When you put them through the fire in your mind's eye or in your third eye, their energy will get really sticky. Yeah, they either won't be able to pass through it or their energy will look really gooey and sticky. It's a really interesting thing. It's almost like they melt. Whereas beings of a really high vibration that are of peace and love can pass right through, and you'll see like water or vapor or something of that nature, or just nothing at all, and they can pass right through. So that's why I like to put the wall of fire up around you as we move through this meditation. So we're going to set that intention that only the beings that can come through the violet refiner's fire will be here at this time. I want you to lean back and close your eyes. And behind your eyelids, I want you to focus your eyes 3/4 of the way up, almost like you are looking at something that is high up on the wall. You're not going to roll your eyes back into your head, but you're going to just kind of look up a little bit behind your closed eyes. And I want you to take 4 deep breaths from the gut. We'll start with number 1. And release. Number 2. And release. And take another deep breath. And release it. And one more deep breath. And release it. And we're going to start counting backwards towards 20. And when we get to the number 1, we're going to be in another dimension in our meditation. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right now, you are in the middle of a field, and I want you to begin to notice what is around you in this field. Is the field on a cliff? Is it in a valley? Is it near the ocean? What season is it? Are there any wildflowers? Is it snowing? What does the weather feel like? Notice what you're smelling and if you see any animals around. Keep noticing, and I want you to begin walking through the fields. You're going to begin to see a beautiful temple or basilica or mission or cathedral in the distance. It's a structure that has been there a very long time. As you get closer, notice what that looks like. As you walk towards it, you will see two very large wooden doors in front of it. You're going to get closer and closer and closer to these doors until you're standing right in front of them. When you stand in front of them, you notice that there is a heavy brass knob. Reach your hand down to touch that knob. What is the sensation in your hand? What does it feel like to touch this doorknob? You know that when you walk through these doors, you will be transported to your own sanctuary, the place where your higher self resides in all their glory. It's a very sacred place. Your sacred place may be an ornate throne room on another planet. It may be a cave in the desert. It may be a beautiful temple on a hillside, or a greenhouse in a beautiful garden. Where this place is a holy place where your higher self resides. It's a place of reverence. It's a place where you go to feel at peace and to rest in your all-knowing omnipotence. This is a place where your trusted advisors and guardians can come to speak with you. It is time to open the doors and step through the portal. As you step through, notice what you see in front of you. Where are you, and what does your sanctuary look like? Begin to notice, are there books? Are there plants? Notice what your higher self needs for their temple and for their sanctuary. What are they surrounded by? Where does your soul and your higher self spend their sacred time? What does the energy feel like in this sacred temple, in this sacred space? Inside your space, your guides have left you an important message. They have left you clues about who you really are as your truest self. Inside your sanctuary, there are 3 items that your guides have left you that are clues about who you really are. It can be an object, it can be a letter or a message, it can be a symbol, photo. These can all come through as memories, feelings, audible words, songs. Release the mind and go with what first comes to you. When you are done looking at those objects or messages, you're going to look behind you and you're going to notice that there is an animal coming towards you. This animal is kind and has been a guardian by your side. This animal protects you and helps guide you to where you're meant to go. What does your animal look like? What is it? What color is your animal and what is its temperament? This animal guardian is going to lead us to the next place we need to go. And we're going to need to leave your sanctuary to get there. But just before we go, you look up and you notice almost like an emblem, a crest, a flag that is hanging in your sanctuary. This emblem or crest or flag or tapestry shows you your fruits of the Spirit or the characteristics or qualities that you carry with you in this lifetime. What is shown symbolically in the color scheme or in words, qualities you have come to earth with? Is it showing bravery, strength, beauty, encouragement, knowledge, faith, prophecy, wildness. It can be anything, it can be all of these and more. What symbols are you picking up from this tapestry or this flag or this symbol? You begin to notice that your animal guide is ready to take you to another place. You follow it out of your sanctuary, and you're back in the field again. Your animal guide is leading you away from your sanctuary toward a set of doors, of wooden doors that are further ahead. The wooden doors, these wooden doors are different. They are not connected to an ancient structure, but they are connected to a hedge, a giant bush or hedge that is fencing something in. Walk towards this hedge, towards these doors with your guide. Notice what it looks like as you get closer and closer. There are birds that are flocking around this hedge. And you start to notice that these birds that are flying around the hedge and these wooden doors almost feel like they're trying to give you a message or beckoning you to come through the doors. What kind of noises are they making or song are they singing? You reach out and put your hand on the knob and twist. The doors open slowly, and you are in courtyard. The courtyard has a path that is leading to a beautiful fountain. And there are flowers and plants all around you. Notice what this courtyard looks like and what you see and the sounds you are hearing. You are going to walk down the path. Past the fountain that you notice has rose petals floating in the water. And ahead there is a gazebo. And you can make out in the distance that there's a bench inside the gazebo, and there is a person waiting for you in the gazebo. That person is your guide that is going to be with you at this time, giving you wisdom, giving you understanding, and giving you a powerful prophecy for your life and your mission that is full of hope and love, strength, and reassurance. As you get closer to the gazebo, you notice that you hear almost like church bells going off in the distance. This sound gives you a wave of peace and love and a knowing that you are in safe hands. The time has come, and the time is now. You are standing in front of your spirit guide. Energy is familiar and loving. What do they look like? What does their energy feel like? What colors are emanating from them? What feelings, what sounds? Your spirit guide is holding a scroll. The scroll looks ancient. They are unrolling the scroll and they're showing it to you. The scroll is either covered in words with some illustration and symbols, or it can be all illustration, all symbols, or words. The scroll is telling you why they are with you at this moment in history, why they are with you, and why you have been chosen. Your spirit guide then sets down that scroll and it picks up another scroll that was sitting on the bench behind. As they unroll this scroll is giving you information on your mission and what you need to know for the future. Are you picking up on any words, any theme? Any pictures, illustrations? Don't overthink it and go with the first thing you feel or see or hear or sense. Your spirit guide now wants to leave the gazebo with you and your animal guardian, and they're going to walk you down a new path. And you're going to move through the courtyard with your spirit guide and your animal guardian until you get to a horse stable. There's a horse stable in this courtyard, and there's a stable hand that has been busy collecting items you're going to need in this journey at this time in history or your mission. The stable hand walks out from the stables carrying a large leather satchel. Inside the satchel are 3 objects. The stable hand beckons you over towards a table that is set up near the stables and lays down the satchel. He pulls out 3 items that represent your mission here on Earth. What are those 3 items? Go with what first comes to you. Your spirit guide has some words to tell you about each object, a word or a phrase. With the first object, your spirit guide has this to say: notice if you pick anything up, any word, phrase, or message that helps interpret what the object is for. Your spirit guide goes to the second object and has a word or phrase to help you understand the second object more. Relax your mind and let it come to you. Your spirit guide has a third message about the third object. What message, word, phrase is coming to you about that object? What are they telling you about your mission on Earth? Ask your spirit guide for any further understanding or knowledge that you need. Relax the mind that likes to overcomplicate and overthink, and allow the first thing that comes to you to come through. You and your spirit guide thank the stable hand for his help. The stable hand packs up the objects in the leather satchel and hands it to you. You say goodbye and you turn and you walk down the path past the gazebo, back to the fountain. But there's one last thing. Your spirit guide wants to tell you their name and why they're working with you. First, they tell you their name. Go with the first name that comes to you. Whether it's in another language or a name that you know, you can look up the meaning later. See if they have anything else to tell you about their name. Lastly, your spirit guide wants to tell you why they're working with you right now. They have 3 items in their pockets. And this is one that we're going to interpret for you. Your spirit guide pulls out a dragon's tooth and sets it on the ledge of the fountain. Your spirit guide pulls out a unicorn horn and sets it on the ledge of the fountain. And your spirit guide pulls out a violin bow that is made with horsehair. Your spirit guide wants you to choose either the dragon tooth, the unicorn horn, or the violin bow. Which item are you immediately drawn to? Go towards it and pick it up. If you picked the dragon's tooth, Spirit is saying that your spirit guide is going to reveal a mystical and magical reason that they are working with you and working with your mission. But right now, it is meant to be hidden and buried at this time. It is a meaning and a mission that connects all of your life experiences and will make sense to you in the future. But you are meant to slowly uncover the hidden meaning of why they're working with you and of your mission as you learn more and gain more knowledge. It will begin to come to you through books and through study and through classes, and it's not meant to be revealed all at once in an aha moment, but it is going to start to slip into your subconscious mind with knowledge and learning. If you picked the unicorn horn, you have known somehow, even in a small way, exactly what your mission was since you were a child. You've had an inner knowing about who you are, and the illumination of that message or of that inner knowing of who you are and who your spirit guide is, why they're there, has just been becoming brighter and brighter and brighter. It's like somehow you have like a sliver within you that you've had since you were a child of inner knowing of your mission and your purpose. So your spirit guide is here to essentially help refine you and heal you and support you as you move towards the spotlight. The spotlight can be a literal spotlight where you are very seen and heard by people, but it can also mean like metaphorically the spotlight where you're meant to shine in your mission and why you came to Earth. And your spirit guide is here to prepare you for that actively right now. If you picked the violin bow, Spirit is saying that your very essence of your being, everything you do, the way you speak, the way you move through the world, permeates and changes the frequency and the vibration of the world, of the air, of everything that you touch, of every person that you speak to. You just going about your life is actively changing the tone and the frequency of reality. Your spirit guide is here to support you and heal you from your past and from any person who has taken you for granted or has talked down to you or who has treated you poorly. They're actively helping to heal your heart in your sleep and helping to give you peace and comfort so that you can feel safety and security and just feel whole as you move through a distorted world. You can also pick more than one item. So essentially, the dragon's tooth means that you have more and more that is going to be revealed to you in time. And there are specific moments, opportunities that are going to be like, oh, yes, oh, got it, okay. And it's going to come through knowledge and wisdom, and it's going to keep unfolding. The unicorn horn essentially means that you've always kind of known who you are. There's this sense of being like a star child with that one. Doesn't mean that all the other ones can be starseeds too, but there's something about the unicorn horn that feels like, oh yeah, I know. I kind of knew in 4th grade. I had a sense of it when I was 10, or I kind of had this sense when I was 19. There's just this feeling of like always being prepared for something big, or that could just feel big in your life. And so it feels like you're being kind of prepped for that right now. And that's why your spirit guide is here. And the violin bow feels like an immense healing for a very high vibrational being that really needs some healing right now and some love and support, because their vibration is just rippling through the world. I also want to say with the dragon's tooth, I just keep having more come in from spirit. That's why I'm still going on about this. But it feels like the dragon's tooth, there's this air of mystery, and there's something here to be discovered that is going to permeate your entire existence. It feels like a mixture of Scorpionic and Gemini energy, that you are meant to uncover the secret book or this secret tie in your life. And it's almost like you will hold the secrets, or you will hold this knowledge, this amazing knowledge. You will uncover something that will make everything make sense. And the spirit guide is going to help you uncover that. And you're meant to teach people and show people all about this knowledge that you've uncovered. It's really incredible. So you're going to take the item or multiple items that you chose from the spirit guide, and you are going to give your spirit guide a big hug and say thank you. You and your animal guide are going to leave the garden, exit the wooden doors. And you're going to head back into the field. It is now nighttime in the field, and there's stars shining bright above you. Your animal guide is leading you back to where you came from. It's leading you to another door. It's a white door with a brass handle. As you reach the white door, you turn and you give your animal guide a kiss, a little tap, a pet, a wave goodbye. When you enter through that white door, you're going to be back in your body, back in your room. When you're ready, slowly begin to move your neck, rotate your head, scrunch your fingers up, wiggle your toes, stretch, do anything you need. And I want you to pull out your Google Documents or a notebook. And I want you to write out everything you received in your temple or sanctuary, what it looked like, what it felt, the tapestry or flag, your spirit animal, the objects that your spirit guides left to tell you about who you are, any words, songs, vibes you got, write it all out. I want you to write out everything you saw, even in the field, going to the courtyard, all about your spirit guide and the scrolls, all about the stable hand and his objects for you and the words and descriptions for those. I know it's a lot of information. And I want you to write about your spirit guide's name and what you picked at the very end. Write it all out. This is a practice in non-judgment. I want you to know that anything you didn't receive or anything where you're confused, none of the information, even if it felt like dark or scary, or even if it felt confusing or anything, write it out and ask that the answers will be revealed to you, because they will be in time. It can often be a practice in patience. We don't want to let our ego mind jump ahead and try to explain anything. Let's just write it all out. And if you feel called, you can go back through and do this meditation again. Or you can go back into meditation and ask more questions on the items you received or on anything that needs clarification. Don't try to ask the questions numerous times over. You always want to go with the first thing you receive, but you can ask follow-up questions. So if you received an answer for an object and you already know what the object is and you wrote it down, you can ask follow-up questions like, does this object pertain to my childhood? What does this object have to do with? And you might even get strange answers. You might get the answer, oh, it has to do with the springtime, or it has to do with eggs, and you can kind of be like, oh, does this have to do with like fertility? Does this have to do with new beginnings? you can kind of suss the answer out, but just be patient and be in a space of neutrality and peace as you work with these answers. And definitely have patience. I remember one time I was asking for what the theme of my year would be. And I got the phrase fearless. And I saw all of this gold tinsel kind of falling down. I was like, oh goodness, I guess I'm going to have to be fearless in that year. This wasn't this year. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so my mind jumped ahead to try to interpret the word fearless. And I was like, oh no. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to be patient and wait. Because I remember how it looked and how it felt. Didn't feel very scary. And then later, maybe it was like a month later, I started asking more questions and I was getting a very specific song. And so I wrote down that song. The song was actually that Romeo and Juliet song by Taylor Swift. I think Taylor Swift is awesome, but I'm not someone who knows everything about her music or even her albums, like at all. I went to do something with my daughter and she was showing me the album Fearless, and the song that I got was on that album. And I was like, oh, strange. This is like about a love story. Oh, maybe the song's called Love Story. And so I was like, oh, interesting. How interesting. And then I was watching another TV show that had the gold tinsel and used the word fearless, but it was for something totally unrelated to Taylor Swift. And it was about like a graduation and about a total transformation in your life. And what happened the year that I was getting this for is I did have a love story moment exactly like that Taylor Swift song. I did have to be fearless to leave my old life behind. And I did kind of enter into a graduation transformation point. And so them showing me those images and the word fearless was actually about what was going to happen to me. It wasn't just, oh, the word fearless at face value. Sometimes the things that are shown to you, you'll immediately know what they mean. Like not even from your brain, but from your heart, you'll know. But sometimes it needs a little bit of time to reveal itself to you. So don't jump to any conclusions. Remain in a space of neutrality and see what you pick up. All right, I am sending you lots of love. I'm so excited for your journey. Your spirit guides are very real, very, very real. Sometimes you can kind of feel like, oh, this just appeared to me in my mind, like as an archetype. But oh my goodness, they will reveal how real they are to you in a lot of really beautiful ways. So have faith and have patience with this and with yourself. Things are being revealed to you. Sending you lots of love.